Well, we're going to take a look at how to graph linear equations. So basically, you should be able to say this after you're done. I can graph linear equations. The first thing I would say is make sure that you get the equation in the slope-intercept form. So that just means the y is all by itself. And we call it the slope-intercept form because this is our slope. Sorry, thought I had the pen there. There we go. This is our slope, okay? And we can call our slope m, that's an abbreviation. And this number right here is going to be our y-intercept. So this becomes our y-intercept. Sometimes we call it b. So this is known as our y-intercept, which is b, or the y-intercept. And this is called our slope, or the abbreviation, otherwise known as m. And a lot of times it's written as a cursive m, and that's an awful cursive m, so let me fix that. There we go. And we're going to use this two pieces of information to be able to graph this. So our y-intercept is 4. Always look at the sign in front of it. If it was a -4, we'd call this a -4 here. And this is a -2. We're going to look at the number in front of the x. Don't worry about the x. It's just telling you where to look. What's the coefficient of the x term? In this case, it's -2. That's our slope. And that's it for two pieces of information. Then you go and you graph your y-intercept. The y-intercept means this. There's a line and it's going to be crossing somewhere over this y-axis. Where's it going to hit? +4. So put your dot right there. That's what the y-intercept's telling us. It's going to intercept the y-axis wherever this number is. In this case, the +4. So I put +4 on the y-axis, and that's one of my points on the line. Great. If I could get one more point, I can draw it. I can draw the line, and I'm done. I've graphed it. Well, we're going to use our slope to help us move. That means that this line is going to fall down to the right, or it's going to fall down to the left. Because, lines are usually, like this or like that. And so that's what we're going to do. And the slope's going to help us figure it out. Make sure it's a fraction. So not a big deal if it's not. Just put a 1 under it. If it's a negative number on top, it tells us to go down 2 spots. So we'll go down 2 spots, but don't put a point there yet. And then if it's a bottom number on the bottom, we'll go over. If it's a positive number on the bottom of the slope, we'll go over to the right 1 spot, like this. And why am I going over once? Because there's a 1 right there. So I'll go down 2 and to the right 1, down 2 and to the right 1. Sometimes a lot of the teachers that have been teaching for a lot of years, and it was taught to my grandfather this way, and he lived to be 92. Look, this is rise over run. Okay, rise over run. The top number tells you that you'll be going up or down, and the bottom number tells you you'll be going left or right. If the top number is negative, we go down. If the top number is positive, we go up, however many spaces that number is. The bottom number is going to tell us to go left or right, however many spaces that number is, and if it's positive, we go to the right, and if it's negative, we go to the left. And after you get enough of these pieces here lined up to where you're like, oh, cool, I'm okay with this, you can actually connect all the points and just put arrows in the end of your line and you're done. Sometimes, though, you're at a spot on the graph where you're like, I ran out of graph and I can't make my graph bigger. What do I do? This trick might work sometimes. You see where it was a -2 and it's the same as -2 over +1? Well, I've taught you before that basically fractions can have the negative sign on top or on bottom. And that would mean that I could go up 2 and to the left 1. And so if I went from this point, I could go up 2 and to the left 1. Up 2 and to the left 1. And then that also lets me be able to go in a different direction. Up 2 and to the left 1. And see how this is still on the same line here? Up 2 and to the left 1. Now you really don't need this many points, but I was just trying to make the point that if you're ever on the edge of a graph and you need to go the opposite way, and you're looking at a negative slope, you can just kind of flip it, that negative sign down to the other part, and it lets you be able to work into a different direction. Sometimes you're still going to run into those issues of like, I've got to have a bigger graph, and that's a pain, certainly, but this is one way that you can get around it a lot of times. Let's go and graph one more, and it throws in one more curveball at us. I don't expect you to master this after this lesson, but it just gets you thrown into the fire so you can start making some mistakes and learning as you go. Here is a standard form equation. Well, sorry, we need to have it into slope-intercept. So let me just go through and throw that into slope-intercept form right here. That means get the y all by itself. If you need a reminder of how to do this, go back and watch my first lesson video on this one. And now that gives us this, y equals negative 2/3 x minus 4. So my y-intercept, let's see, that's the same thing as b. It's always written with a plus b, but basically it means whatever is plus or minus after this x term, that's your y-intercept, the b part. So that's what this is. This is the b, that's negative 4. And then my slope is whatever's in front of the x term. In this case, it's negative 2/3. So my y-intercept is at negative 4. I put that right there. And that means that I go down 2 and to the right 3. So I'd go down 2 and to the right 3. And that's it. You're done. You can go ahead and connect the points if you wanted to go down 2 more and to the right 3 to see if you've got your counting down right and they're still in the same spots. You certainly can. It's not going to hurt anything. But yeah, that holds up pretty well. Look how that line's slicing through all 3 points. That's it. You've successfully graphed 2x plus 3y equals negative 12. How? Turn it into slope-intercept form. Take your y-intercept, negative 4, and plot that, and then use your slope to move from that y-intercept point. Works every time.